Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I am Adrian, and thank you for watching these videos. Today, I am going to be talking about the process of initiation and how it is related in the gospel story and the life of Jesus. Um, hmm. So, let me go ahead and start it. As usual, let me start by saying a few disclaimers here. Um, just a reminder that this information that I happily share with you guys is my very own interpretation of what is known as the ancient ageless wisdom, the sacred teachings that have been given throughout history for thousands of years. So everything is out there for you guys. I will be posting links if you're interested to some of the sources of my information, in particular Benjamin Creme. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about initiations. Just to recapitulate, as I have said in previous videos, everything in the cosmos is moving, everything in the cosmos is in motion, and technically everything in the cosmos is evolving. It's part of one or the of two processes. It's either within the process of involution, descending, or evolution, ascending. Evolution means that we're ascending from the lower to the higher, from the dense to the subtle to the sublime, from matter to the spirit. Everything is going through this process, and we as individuals want to move away from matter and return to spirit, our source. So according to the story, in the middle of Atlantean times, the process of initiation was introduced to help humanity go through this process of evolution and speed it up. It was introduced, and five stages, five initiations were introduced to this process. These five initiations are represented in the Bible story, in the Gospel story, in the life of the Master Jesus, and I will explain that. Initiations are very specific ceremonies. This is a ceremony that we take in mental levels. If we have gone through these initiations, it will seem like a dream if we ever remember them. In particular, the first two, the third, fourth, and fifth initiations is easier for us to remember, and most likely we will remember that we have taken them, and we will become aware that we have taken the third, the fourth, and the fifth, for sure. But the first two we might or might not, most likely not. The first two initiations are administered by Maitreya himself. He's the great initiator for the first two. The last three, what are known as the three real spiritual initiations, are administered by our Father in Heaven, by Sanat Kumara, the Lord of the World, the Ancient of Days of the Bible. These are very specific ceremonies that I will not go into right now, what they consist of. I don't have all that information with me, for once. But you go in front of great beings and you are administered and given this initiation. A great amount of energy is given to you. Initiations also mean that you have both awareness and control of the different vehicles and the different levels that we live. The first initiation represents control and awareness of the astral. Most of us humans have some level and awareness of the physical body. We have pretty much mastered that. The vast majority of humanity has pretty much mastered the awareness and some level of control of the physical body. But to be fully in control of the physical vehicle is only obtained after you take the first initiation. The first initiation, which is represented in the gospel story as the birth of the Christ, represents that control of the physical body. That means that the appetites of the physical body, the desires, the needs, are not in charge. It's the other way around. We are in charge of them. that represents that we can control all of our appetite for everything that this world of illusion offers us, and that can be assimilated by the physical vehicle. It also represents some level of control of the astral plane and awareness of the astral plane. The first initiation is represented in the Bible story as the birth of the Christ, because it also represents the birth of the Christ within us. Is the birth of the Christ energy, Christ love in the heart of the individual. Initiations are taken both individually and as a group. There are group initiations and there are individual initiations. There are actually many initiations that we take constantly that are very, very minor initiations, but the five major are taken both individually and as a group. Here's a bit of strange news for most of us. The information that I have is that about 99% of the population have not taken even the first initiation. Technically, we're not a very evolved planet. And if you look around and pay attention, it seems pretty obvious to me that we are not very evolved. We're not very evolved beings. We are not really high-thinking beings. So the first initiation represents that awareness of love and level of control of the physical, and awareness and begin to have control over the astral plane. As I said, very few people have taken the first initiation, let alone second, third, and fourth. Just a few million people, right? Less than 99% of the population have taken these initiations. The good news, this is the good news, is that because everything in the planet and in the solar system per se is speeding up, this allows for windows of opportunity to open. Evolution is always moving, so humanity has evolved. So we are very near, if not, we are right now in front of a great window of opportunity in which millions of us are ready to take the first initiation. The fact that Maitreya, the Christ, is in the planet represents that he is here to initiate humanity, so that millions of individuals that are knocking on the door to take the first initiation will be able to take it in a very short period of time. That is my understanding. That is the beauty of this moment, is that the planet is about to enter a great initiation, in which means that millions of people will be able to walk through these doors of initiations. The second initiation is represented in the gospel story as the baptism of the Master Jesus by John the Baptist in the River Jordan, and the descent of the Spirit, the dove, to take control, to guide the individual. That represents that now we have full control of the physical body, control of the astral vehicle. For most of the people who have taken the second initiation, represents that they have control of the astral vehicle, and begin to look up to the soul and to the higher mental levels. So one begins to have mental awareness of the mental vehicle and control of the mental vehicle. The third initiation, which is also known as the first truly spiritual initiation, and the first one that is given to you by the Lord of the world, is the transfiguration, represented in the Bible story as the transfiguration of the Christ, when the Master Jesus, or the Master Maitreya, remember they work together, take 3 of his disciples to the mount, and there he is transfigured, becomes light, and is flanked by Moses and Elijah. If I do remember, Moses is in the right and Elijah is on his left. Moses represents the law and Elijah represents prophecy. The transfiguration is the first spiritual initiation, and it represents full mental control, full mental awareness it represents that for the first time the individual, the disciple, has entered the halls of wisdom and halls of spiritual wisdom, and has access to tremendous amount of information. The mental vehicle is under control, and one has now is able to offer service and love to humanity like never before. He has aid that comes from great spiritual beings, not only from this planet but solar and cosmic beings if so needed. And one walks faster. I forgot to say that as the gospel story represents the timeline, the time between the birth and the baptism is, I believe, 33 years. I'm sorry, 30 years. Between the baptism and I'm sorry, transfiguration, it's a shorter period of time, and then the next two are taken even faster. Between the first and the second initiation, for most of us, is the hardest one, and this can take several lifetimes. Between the second and the third one, can take 1 or 2 lifetimes, and then the third, the fourth, and the fifth can take in the same lifetime, or one after the next one. The fourth initiation is known as the renunciation, or the of the death at the cross. Is represented by the sacrifice of the Master Jesus and his crucifixion. It technically represents the death of everything that is not true. It represents that the individual renounces everything that is material, everything that is false, everything that is mundane, everything that has nothing to do with the evolution of humanity and the individual. It dies to everything, only to give birth to what is true, pure spirit. The fifth initiation represents that, which is the resurrection. That means that the individual is now a resurrected master. The individual now has no more need of a physical body. He has complete awareness and control of all the manifestations and energies of the planet. Has no need to have a physical body. One can still have a physical body one so chooses to, but now one lives in a body of light, of pure light. The body of manifestation is now 100% made out of subatomic matter. There are 2 other initiations that one can take if one chooses to, the 6th and the 7th. If one takes the 6th initiation, then one becomes what is known as an ascended master. And the 7th initiation, which is also the first cosmic initiation, can also be taken in this planet. It is my understanding that the only person that holds that degree, the 7th degree initiate, is the Master Maitreya. Once you take the 5th initiation, you can continue your process of evolution in this planet and thus take the next 2, or you can move on to other spheres of the cosmos and do your studying, continue your process of evolution in other areas of the cosmos, and take other initiations depending on where you go and what your mission is. Resurrection is the last one that we all need to take. I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoy these videos. Thank you for watching them. If you have questions, please continue to leave them in your comments and questions. I will make another video in the near future addressing your comments and your questions. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I will see you soon. Peace be with you. Thank you.